you come from a world where comedy was raw. Like you could get on that stage and say whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's a lot of people, it's a battle between, especially with the Kevin Hart roast that just happened,
Right.
it's a battle between what you can say and what you can't say. And, you know, comedians should be exempt from certain things. How do you feel? Well, one, what did you think about the roast? You know, that's a big topic of conversation right now. How do you feel about the Kevin Hart roast?
I think first of all, I mean, you know, it's comedy. It's Kevin Hart roast. Look who put it together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, Netflix or people shock. We're in that world of clips, shock humor, where you know being nasty and dirty and bad, and Trump has a lot to do with that. I mean, that's winning right now, being evil and saying anything to get clicks and laughs is ridiculous. But you know, if that's the brand you are, if that's the liquor you're drinking, if that's the food you want to digest, then that's for you. To me, I mean, they invite certain type of people to those parties, or certain type of people that's going to let that go on. I'm from the '90s, so they wouldn't have flew on my watch because they know it'd have been furniture moving.
Yeah.
You know, or I'd have got up there and I'd have okay, well, you know, off strip about this. You know, now I'd have checked all that on the point because you know I've done roasts where you can speak up. I ain't have to wait to get the mic. You know, I'm like, hold on, watch your mouth before you get smacked. You know, but most of that stuff was written by 7 white guys. So white people, you know, their uncreative imagination about black people is only to go back to, you know, hey, you know, your drugs, your daddy left you, you're slaves, people died. It's stuff that they made up about us. So that's funny to them, not us. But it's, you know, it's like I said, it's clickbait. You know what I mean? To me, for the comics to sit up there and take that and for people to, you know, refute that, I don't know. I mean, you know, that's them. If they got the balls to say something, most of them want to check. I'm against the system, so you know, I'm uncancelable. I don't live in the era where I think the industry can hurt me because I don't live for the industry. I live for me. So I have my own fans. So you know, my old liquor, my old bottle of water at the end of the day is always gonna sell.
And that's, you know, it's funny because you hear Kevin Hart on the Breakfast Club and he said, you know, it's live. What did you expect me to do? And knowing what I know of you and knowing what I know of the stories of the people you brought me around and, you know, talking about how you moved back in the day, I couldn't see you up there just kind of standing for that. Like, I couldn't see Joe Torry hearing some of those jokes and not saying something.
Yeah, I mean, or not furniture being moved backstage.
Or backstage.
Or right on camera. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, that would be, you know, hey, what are we doing here? But like I said, they know who to invite to those type of parties. Yeah. You know, so, and everybody, you know, I mean, you know, either got to deal with Netflix or they want to deal with Netflix or they want to deal with Netflix, the different network that's putting them out there, or they don't want to piss their agency off. I've been through all that before. Yeah. So, you know, I'm like I said, I'm OG. So, you know, I know how to handle that.
And, so you think everybody's just holding back and didn't really want to rock the boat, you know, afterwards. It was announced that Cheryl got her special, but I think she went up there and went crazy when it was her time. Like after all that, they were saying all that stuff about her. When she got up there, I think she went and did her job.
Yeah, Cheryl spoke, you know, like she's supposed to has spoken. But like I said, you know, it's all a part of the circus. You know, and you know, hey, the person that does this, the person. I mean, you know what you signed up for when you do it as a comic. You know where you are in this business. If you can push certain envelopes in which you can't. You know what I'm saying? You know why they got you there. Like people used to say, you know, back in the day, well, why you bring Joe Torry? You know he gonna be Def Jam. Well, that's why you hired me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so they know why they hire certain people to be there, to do certain things, to push the narrative, and that's why we're still talking about it right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, to me, it's like, you know, I'm so above low vibrational energy. No, it doesn't affect me.
Woo, honey, Kevin, baby. When I tell you, I've been waiting for somebody to say it out loud, y'all. And Joe Torry said it. And honey, I ain't even gotta say this name gentle. Joe Torry stood up and told the truth about what that roast really was, y'all. And when I tell you, I was shocked. Not shocked that it happened. Not shocked that somebody finally had the nerve to call it what it was. He said, and I'm quoting this man, most of that stuff was written by 7 white guys. 7 white guys. Okay? Okay? You mean to tell me that the same people who've been writing our trauma for hundreds of years, the same people who made up every stereotype about us, the same people who looked our pain and our people in the face and took our pain and call it, and what they call it entertainment. Look, they were the jokes. They wrote the jokes about us on stage with black people sitting there laughing at that crap. And Kevin just sat there, y'all. He sat there and took it, grinning, scanning, grinning, all that. Like I don't even got the word for that look right now, okay? But the gutter rats know what I'm talking about. The gutter rats been knowing. Joe Torry said back in the 90s, furniture would have been moving. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I believe him. I believe every word. Because back then, we don't let nobody talk to us like that. Not on no stage, not for no check, and not for no Netflix special. But see, that's the thing. They knew who to invite. They knew exactly who would sit there and just take it. They knew who would sell their soul. They knew who was going to sell their soul. They knew who was already Hollywood's puppet, right? And honey, the comments, have y'all been looking at the comments out here about this? The comments under the video, people are saying Kevin Hart is Hollywood modern day Step and Fetch It. People are saying it was a straight humiliation ritual. People are saying Cat Williams told us who Kevin Hart was. And y'all didn't believe Cat. Y'all called him hating. Y'all called him bitter. Y'all called him everything but a prophet. And now Joe Torry, a man from the 90s, a man who said, I don't live for the industry. I live for me. He telling you the same thing Cat told you, the same thing. And some of y'all still going to make excuses. It's just comedy. It's just jokes. It's just a roast. No. It's white writers using black mouths to spit out black trauma back at us and calling that shit funny. And here's what Joe said that broke me. Okay? He said the white writers' imagination about black people only goes back to your drugs, your daddy left you, and your slavery, and people died. That's it. That's their whole catalog. That's all they got. 400 years of reducing us to pain, and they still think it's fresh. They still think that shit is funny. And Kevin Hart, the executive producer of his own humiliation ritual, he let it happen. He let their ass use his name and his platform. He let them use his black face to sell anti-black trauma to a black audience. So when I tell you I'm done making excuses for these people, I am done. The gutter rats are done. We see you. We've been seeing your ass. Joe Torry said he's above low vibrational energy now. And honey, so am I. So are we. Like this video if you see it too. Comment if you've been seeing it. And I need y'all to subscribe. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, Honey Static Media. Okay? Yeah.